there.
Are you sure?
And enough nigga to stay. I'm here. No, okay. I'm here. I ain't dumb. I got an on switch, nigga. I'll turn it on. I'm here for about 90 minutes to 2 hours. Feeling a little under the weather because I had to travel through these dirty ass airports. I hate airports, y'all. I want to stay home.
No. Let me get a hey.
What?
Let me get a. Go ahead. That's
How's
cool.
that cheerleading,
Let me
nigga?
get a J.
Yo, you the worst.
And
You stiff as hell. You stiff as hell. You gonna break something.
What up, guys? Dr. J here from Body Temple Health and Wellness. We got another JBP Health Factuals 724 and beyond. I thought I'd compile the last few episodes because it really didn't have a lot of health-related topics to talk about. So I just picked out stuff that I thought you might want to learn a little bit more about. So let's jump into it. Remember when Joe did this?
Name that you're voting against.
I think he might have injured his larynx and pharynx.
I don't give a fuck.
Because by the next episode, his voice was different, very groggy, and that can happen when it's irritated. Here are 3 likely diagnoses that I would think about if he came into my office. So let's talk about allergic rhinitis, which basically is hay fever. It's an allergic reaction of your airway. Foreign bodies, could be dust, smoke, what have you, will trigger the allergic response, which basically causes a release of histamine. These mast cells go to the nose, create the histamine that causes swelling, mucus, drainage. That can cause a lot of different symptoms like sneezing, like coughing, like sinus headaches, that kind of thing. So it could be one of the things that could be happening here. We treat it with antihistamines and other kind of symptom reliever type things. The other possible thing is acute pharyngitis, which basically is a sore throat. Okay, you get a sore throat usually in this part of the throat, the pharynx. So that can be due to mucus coming from the nose or actually direct contact to the tonsils in the back of the throat. But once it's inflamed, it can be due to a number of reasons: virus, bacterial, or fungal. And depending on the cause, means the type of treatment you get, right? So it could be antibiotics, antifungals, that kind of thing. The last thing I would think about is laryngitis, or inflammation of the larynx, which is below the pharynx, kind of above the windpipe or the trachea. Okay, the biggest difference between these 3 things is this one is the voice. So the voice change, hoarseness is the most common complaint by patients, but you can also get cough, sore throat, runny nose. But if you need to know for sure, please check your local doctor, get a full physical and checkup like Joe did probably with his cousin. So let's jump into our next health topic. The only reason I'm talking about is there's no way I'm going to let this freeze frame go. This is too funny not to talk about. But let's talk about osteoarthritis, which is a joint problem. The way that issues flexing itself would flip, I didn't think it was possible. But Joe made a joke about his hip. He said, yo, you're going to crack something. And nobody knows that, right? Except you're doing an x-ray on that. But if we just talking for educational sake, one condition that could affect somebody, like anyone, having joint problems, is osteoarthritis, which is basically a wear and tear disease. Some people call it an age-related disease because usually people who are older in age will get this, but it can happen in younger ages. People who are athletes, people who get severe trauma to the joints, in particular the hips, knees, and ankles, are the first places that get affected. And there is a progression of a breakdown of the joint spaces. So like the joint space they get narrower so that the bones are touching, at certain points. And then you get destruction of the cartilage, which is basically underneath each bone. And then you get growth of new bone that basically overall causes this inflammation of swelling and redness and pain. And it can be a very trying and problematic disease. It's probably one of the most common conditions that I get with a lot of my patients. And the reality is it only kind of gets worse with time unless you start treating it early, which is a lot of lifestyle changes. Believe it or not, it's not so much medications, drugs, it's actually healthy living. So weight management, losing the weight, the lighter that you are on your joints, the better. Exercising, specific exercises to target these joints, to reduce the inflammation. Things like yoga, Pilates, swimming. That's right, swimming can help a lot, as well as proper nutrition. A less inflammatory diet can also assist in these type of things. So something worth looking into. So for Ish, you may want to consider it. He looked like he already know how to do some yoga. The last thing I want to do is congratulate the JVP on an awesome last pod talking about the whole Diddy situation. I think they did a phenomenal job bringing in a counselor to speak specifically about DV, also known as intimate partner violence. I'm going to provide a link for a great article talking about it from the American College of Obstetrics and Gynecology. I think it'd be a good read for people who are further interested. So that's all I'm going to touch on today. Hope this was helpful. I'll try to keep up pace with the episode as much as I can. Like I said, if this is helpful to anybody, I'll keep going. As always, health is wealth.